Are you serious? Are you seriously serious? We have breaking news tonight. Breaking news. This is an unscheduled broadcast to bring you a special report. There is chaos in the streets of Hong Kong tonight as the protest against mainland China and the communist China, the People's Republic of China, the people of Hong Kong, business owners, students, factory workers, shop owners, everyone, housewives, everybody, over 1 million people in the streets of Hong Kong on Sunday night. Now this has turned completely violent. 72 people have been hospitalized in what's becoming now an absolute state of chaos in downtown Hong Kong tonight. Let me give you more about that, but first a shout out real quickly here. We've got a lot of pictures to show you and breaking news information from Hong Kong. A quick shout out. First of all, folks, there's a company called thefederalmillionaire.com. The secret of becoming a millionaire can be summed up in 2 words, according to Dr. D.R. Barton Jr., who now a self-made millionaire, had a 9-to-5 job. He dreaded opening his mailbox each day because he knew that inside he would find another credit card, a bill, a notice that his mortgage was due. Back then, the one paycheck his boss would give him every 2 weeks was barely enough for his family to get by. But today, he loves making that same trip to the mailbox because he knows that when he opens it, he's going to be greeted with a check, a rent check. Matter of fact, and he didn't have to spend a second of his life working to collect it. Uncovering a little-known alternative income stream was how he became a self-made millionaire. It changed his life, and it gave him complete financial freedom. Now, with the Federal Millionaire Guide, he is so excited that he can now it can really help him. This is a reality as well for you. Okay, now here's the thing about it. Over 100 government agencies are required by law to pay rent. The checks they're cutting help create over $11.1 billion worth of money. And thanks to the select private companies, it's very easy to get your piece of the action, they say. He'll explain all of this to you in his free DVD that you can check out on his website. You could begin cashing checks of $1,795 a month by going to this website. He will help explain to you how he did it. Just visit www.thefederalmillionaire.com. Watch the free video. See how D.R. Burton and hundreds of thousands of other United States citizens are paying their rent with federal rent checks. Again, find out how you could cash a $1,795 check each month by simply checking out the free video at www.thefederalmillionaire.com. All right, guys, here's what's taking place in Hong Kong. We have a situation, very uneasy calm is what the headline says in Hong Kong. Don't believe it, though. It's not a calm at all. After a day of violence over extradition, look at this, look at this. This is what happened this afternoon and is happening now. Hong Kong, they had a 1 million people riot, where actually 1 million people protested Sunday. But today it turned very violent. 72 people are in the hospital, causing extensive damage to downtown Hong Kong. People are standing in the streets right now, barricading the roads during a demonstration against the proposed extradition bill in Hong Kong today as we speak. Here's what the story is. Reuters is reporting this. CNN is now showing footage of it. Fox News is covering it. MSNBC has mentioned it. CBS News, ABC News, all of the mainstream media is now finally acknowledging that Hong Kong, the riot police, the protesters, look at this, have braced for the possible further clashes across the city's financial district for tomorrow, a day after violence over the extradition bill that would allow people to be sent to mainland China for trial. If you live in Hong Kong, do you want to be shipped into Shanghai to stand trial there for a petty crime that you may have committed or maybe not even committed, you're just being accused of? You may never come back, guys. You go to if you get shipped out of Hong Kong, you probably won't be coming back. They've got prison camps. They've got all kinds of injustices that go. Communist China. These people have lived in a fairly open society. Look, 1997, the Great Britain handed Hong Kong back over to China. They should have never done it, but they had a signed agreement. It was either that or go to war with China. They decided to give them back Hong Kong. China said they would leave Hong Kong alone because it's a cash cow. And all they had to do is just collect the taxes and leave those people alone. But oh no. Communist China, President Xi, he's got to rule over everybody. Guys, don't be deceived by this guy right here. This dude is a tyrant, and that's what they're calling him. Those aren't my words. That's the words of his own citizens. Hundreds of riot police could be seen resting and regrouping tonight in China, while gaggles of protesters obtained fresh supplies of water and goggles and helmets and sticks and whatever else they can get their hands on. That's the citizens. They have to try to protest against this. And you can see the tear gas, the rubber bullets, the pepper spray. Police fired rubber bullets, tear gas, pepper spray, a series of skirmishes breaking out all day long today. It's very clear the demonstrators from the city legislature refuse to surrender to this new law. And it was some of the worst violence in Hong Kong's history since Britain handed Hong Kong back to China in 1997 with a guarantee of extensive autonomy and freedoms for these people. Britain said, if you don't give them freedom, if they can't be a democracy, we're not giving them back. China promised, China signed the document, China guaranteed they would never try to rule over these people. But guess what? As expected, they've broken their word, including a separate legal system. That was part of the deal. Freedom of speech, that was part of the deal. So that's why these people are protesting. China wants to start making everyone who gets arrested in that city shipped to Shanghai for trials. Oh, no. You may not come back at all. You might come back missing a liver or something. You only have one. Maybe missing a kidney anyway. Anyway, the extradition bill has sparked unusually wide concerns, both locally and internationally, that the bill risks further encroachment from Chinese officials and threatens the rule of law that underpins Hong Kong's international financial status. Also, as of 10 o'clock tonight, Hong Kong time, 72 people had been hospitalized, and some of them in serious condition at the Hong Kong Hospital Authority. Several thousand demonstrators remain near the legislative area of the district of the main city, while thousands more have retreated to the central business district, overlooked by towers of some of Asia's biggest firms and hotel chains. What? I mean, what kind of a gun is that? What's that thing firing, Brock? Is that a flamethrower? What the heck is that? Includes the Mandarin or Oriental Hotel, the HSBC, the AIA. Tourists looked stunned at the sight of abandoned luxury cars near the Mandarin Hotel. There were barricades over the doors of the Hong Kong Club, one of the city's oldest social institutions. It was the third night of violence since a protest on Sunday drew organizers say more than 1 million people into the streets of Hong Kong demonstrating. It's the largest demonstration since the 1997 handover. The benchmark, the Hang Seng Index, closed losing 1.7% of its total value today, having already lost 2% of its total value on Tuesday, while Chinese companies in Hong Kong ended down 1.2% of their total value. Hong Kong's China-backed chief executive Carrie Lam condemned the violence late on Wednesday, urged a swift restoration of order. But while acknowledging the controversy, Lam has refused to postpone or withdraw the bill, which she and her officials say is necessary to plug the loopholes, allowing the city to be a haven for criminals wanted in mainland China. But Lam has said the courts would provide human rights safeguards in vetting case-by-case extraditions to mainland China. You can't trust that. You don't know. Somebody could have a vendetta against you and you wind up in a prison camp somewhere outside of Shanghai or Beijing. Opponents, including leading lawyers and riots groups, say China's justice system is marked by torture and forced confessions, arbitrary detention, and poor access to an attorney. U.S. President Donald Trump, who is locked in a trade war with China, said the demonstrations were massive, but added that he expected the issue to be resolved. I'm not so sure, Mr. President, on this one. I may have to disagree with you. I don't think so. The United States has extensively business interests in Hong Kong and has been struggling to formulate a response to this latest standoff, even as Trump battles Beijing on trade. Quote, I hope it all works out for China and for Hong Kong, Trump told reporters at the White House. I understand the reason for the demonstration, but I'm sure they will be able to work it out. It's not that easy. You're dealing with communists. Mr. President, stand with the people of Hong Kong. Mr. President, you have to stand with the people of Hong Kong because these tyrants, sir, these tyrants, that guy might shake your hand and eat a nice little meal with you, and he might smooth you over a little bit. But trust me, you know, I know, and we all know that the Chinese communist regime will break your knuckles. And that's just for starters. I hope they're going to be able to work it out, he said. Now, British Prime Minister Theresa May said extradition rules in Hong Kong had to respect the rights and freedoms set out in the 1984 Sino-British Agreement. That means nobody's going to China. That's what the rule says. They don't have to, no. Okay? No. Guys, don't ever surrender this. You can't allow them to haul you off in paddy wagons to Beijing. Look at the violence. It's just starting, guys. Oh, forget Tiananmen Square. You ain't seen nothing yet. These people are not good. They know what goes on in mainland China. They know what goes on. Amnesty International joined local rights groups in condemning the use of police force on Wednesday as excessive, while a spokeswoman for the United Nations Human Rights Office in Geneva said it was following the situation closely. We call on all parties to express their views peacefully and on Hong Kong's authorities to engage in an inclusive and transparent dialogue over the draft. Matter of fact, the draft legislation reporting. So, guys, here's the deal. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get uglier. It's going to get worse because there's no way can these people allow this new legislative law to go into effect. They cannot allow it. The moment they do, they're done. China will use this as leverage over every individual. They will squeeze and squeeze and squeeze the freedom right out of Hong Kong. I'm so glad that those of you who have joined me tonight. I need you to pray for the people of Hong Kong. The poor people of China have lived under this tyranny for so long they don't know any better. But the people of Hong Kong, they know what it is. They know what goes on over there. And they do not want to be subjected to that. They cannot surrender their rights to govern themselves. They cannot turn that over to China. They cannot allow that. They can pay the taxes to China, but they cannot allow China to load them up in a police car or in some kind of paddy wagon and be hauled off to Beijing or Shanghai or some other high court over there. They can't allow that to be a part of their life. They can't live under that tyranny. They cannot allow that to be the real deal. We have breaking news also. There's red alerts going on now in Israel even. Someone has just said, I got to find out more about that. Brock has just sent me a note. If you live in Hong Kong, you need to do a roll call or people will come up missing. Oh, Brock, you're exactly right. They're already coming up missing. You can believe that. They're coming up missing. People just steal them away. And they end up, and we never hear from them again. That's going on big time. You certainly can't surrender the rights to the police to extradite you to mainland China. It's over if you do that. It's over. You never want to do that, okay? So, guys, this is a very serious situation. I think we're watching, this is breaking news. The pepper spray, again, Brock will show you. The guy looked like a flamethrower. I don't know what that is. What is that he's firing from that gun? We have rubber bullets. There is pepper spray. There's tear gas. There's billy clubs. I've seen a lot of different photos and videos where they were beating people down. 72 people in the hospital. This is not a peaceable situation, and it's going to get worse and worse. And China's going to have to, look, Hong Kong better hold its ground on this one, and China's going to have to back off. And the President of the United States really needs to stand with the people of Hong Kong. He needs to say this. He needs to say this. Mr. President, you really do. You got to. You cannot waffle on this one. You can't. You have to stand with the President, the people of Hong Kong on this one, please, because you can't allow China to run completely over this city of freedom, Hong Kong. I'm going to be live tonight later at 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope all of you are here. Look, do you see what's going on today? Israel, Syria. We just found out some information, Brock. Definitely Israel blew up the Iranian radar systems in Syria. We have the Houthi rebels of Iran firing a rocket into a civilian airport in Saudi Arabia, injuring 26 people. Guys, can't you see what's getting ready to go? What's going on here? The earth is shaking like it's shaking. It's dangerous. It's shaking. It's shaking. It's shaking. It's shaking. What? Wars, rumors of wars, all kinds of commotion. The Bible says commotion. I'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. At 10 p.m. Eastern tonight with Primetime Live.